So I'm going to continue. It looks my phone ran out of memory, but I'll make this a second video. So yeah, I was playing $3, you know, and I got it up to $10. Wow, this cut really interrupted my thought process. No, so I got up to $10, and they're bringing me drinks, and I tipped them. You know, if you're ever at a slot machine in Reno or Nevada, or if you're in a slot machine in any state you live in, any country you live in, if they're bringing you drinks, you tip them. Sometimes they sell you cigarettes. They used to give them out for free, but now I like a pack of cigarettes. You know, it's $5, whatever, $10. You pay that, and so hold on, I'm trying to get back in the mood I was talking about. So yeah, I got up to $10. I cashed out, and I you know, the friends are bragging. I just won $900, and I walk into it and I go, I made 300%. They're like, what does that mean? It means, well, I put in 100% and I got 300%. I put in $3 and I came out with 9. So, like, well, I made $900. You know, that's how they brag. I made $1,200. Oh, yeah. Well, how much did you put in? What's your percentage? They couldn't calculate it. They just go, yeah, we're just friends. Well, I made 300%. I did better than all of you. I put in 3. I got 9. But they're playing the tables, you know. I'm pretty good at blackjack. I mean, I did it with my grandpa all my life. And if you have a little smarts in you, yeah, blackjack. If you know how to count cards, well, you're not supposed to be doing that nowadays, and you never know how many decks they have. But yeah, back on the head. Well, sometimes they still have like 3-deck blackjack. They'll say, you know, say how many decks there are in the game. You play the tables long enough, yeah, you count the cards. You see the cards on the table, you count them. And you see your odds later on, you know. There's a lot of stuff below 10. Yeah, you count the aces, count the kings, queens, jacks, count the numbers, and yeah, you can. Yeah, we're rolling. Yeah, we're rolling. I'm just going on and on. I feel like talking today, but yeah. And the cool thing is you can smoke in Reno in the casino, which, if I'm going to play blackjack, I gotta be smoking. And a lady brings me a drink. I usually get, what do I get? What's the cherry 7 called? Shirley Temple. I usually get a Shirley Temple, so it's non-alcoholic. So it's free, you know. Or I'll ask for water, because usually I've been drinking before. I drink first, and then I decide to gamble. But when I gamble, I'm like at the penny slots or at the dollar tables. Like, if I'm going to do blackjack, it's got to be cheap. Because I'm going to be sitting there for a long time before I start placing big bets. I mean, that's how you count cards. And you can look up in history, some guys have built computers. You know, they have switches in their shoes, glasses with lights inside, and tells them if it's good bet, bad bet, you know. There's been some pretty famous people that built computers back in the 70s to beat the house. But, you know, blackjack is the house has a disadvantage. It's always the player that has the advantage in blackjack. But that's why they no longer have single deck, 2 decks, 3 decks. Now they have like 20 decks shuffled. And when you sit down, you give them like $10 and they go, changing $10. I give you a chip, and I have to go. Could I have those in ones? Changing $10. Thank you. I'm gonna put one chip down. You know, I'm not a big money gambler. I like to learn the game, and then I play the big bets, like Bitcoin. What do you think? I made Bitcoin just by turning on miners and touching stuff? No. I studied it for like 5 years. I had, I sold some dirty diapers to a guy named Pochi. They were vacuum packed. For half a Bitcoin. Well, where does that cost nowadays? About $20,000. Yeah, I sold 2 dirty diapers to a guy for half a Bitcoin, which is now worth $20,000. Isn't that like stupid? I mean, it's more funny than selling a pizza, right? It's more funny than selling a pound of coffee for, well, obviously they have millions of dollars with their pound of coffee and pizza. But, that's how I started. I studied it. We're going to go on to Bitcoin now. My lectures can go on for hours. So, still rolling? Yeah, we're rolling. So, how did I make money on Bitcoin? I'll ask the question. How did I make money on Bitcoin? Well, Pochi, first time I ever had Bitcoin. Pochi said, hey, you should gamble. There's websites you can gamble online. I said, well, I don't really have any. I said, here, have some money. I think it was like a quarter Bitcoin. This was back in 2013. So it was like worth $10 or something. I don't know. You can calculate it yourself, but it was a quarter Bitcoin. And that'd be now $10,000. But back then it was like $25. So I gambled it. I lost. He says, you know what? Here, have another. You can have it. You lost. That's okay. You're gambling. He gave me another quarter Bitcoin and taught me about how to mine on my GPU. So CPU mining had already passed. It was GPU mining, and that's where I was at. So what did I do with that Bitcoin? Well, I didn't know what to do with it. I kept it. And then he said, hey, I'm a pervert. Send me a baby bottle and 2 dirty diapers vacuum packed. So I said, sure. And you know what? It cost me $50 to ship that to him. Well, Bitcoin, that was about $50. About $100 Bitcoin at the time. So I said, yeah, I'll take half Bitcoin. So what I do after that? Well, he went to prison for child porn on his server. He's like serving it out like it was candy. I can't do that. No. Just so you know, I don't have a copy of anything. I don't watch child porn anymore. But I don't have anything now. No, this was 10 years ago. I was a kid back then. So I had this half Bitcoin. 5 years goes by, and I decide, it's $300 now. $300. I buy some Bitcoin miners. So on Craigslist, I found some S1 ASIC miners. So I jumped from GPU to ASICs. I did never do the FPGAs. They were just, I wasn't thinking about it back then. So I went from that to that. And well, I bought some ASIC miners. I had like $150 on my Bitcoin. You know, Bitcoin is $300. I had half a Bitcoin plus a little more. So I bought some S1 ant miners, and they had already been like used. So, you know, when I bought it out of the guy's trunk, they were still hot. Like he had pulled it off a rack, put it in his trunk, and I met him like right then. And I pulled them out of his trunk. They're still hot. So, like physically, you pick them up, they're warm, not hot, stolen, but hot, warm. So I bring them home. I don't have the power supplies for them, but I wire up some power supplies from like old computers. I put them under the grand piano. We had a grand piano in our house, Steve's house. And I can repeat, Steve's a millionaire. He has a grand piano, violin art all over the house. He has 3 houses. Okay. So I put the Bitcoin miners under the grand piano. It's the cold part of the house. It's like part of the house where nobody's walking through. So I warm up that part of the house. I run 2 S1 miners. They got about, I think, 100 gigahash each. Well, okay, I ran those for a while. I got some Bitcoin out of it. Then I went to Sponduli Tech. Spondulis. I think I got some of the S20s. And I think I got 2 of those. They cost about $100. I ran those things out in the yard. It was summertime. And even the winter time, I just put some bricks over them so they didn't get rained on. But yeah, we just ran them outside, and those they'd start bringing in money. And then this is the cool part. You know the guy who started Dogecoin? Well, I met his dad. I went up into the hills for the fancy houses, you know, the $300,000 or $300 million or $3 million houses were. I went up there for a $40 miner. It was an S2. An S2 is very rare. Basically, it's an S1 with 10 boards in it, so it's like 10 times the power of an S1. And I bought it for $40, and I saw it in his garage. I said, "Hey, what's wrong with that one? You want to sell that one?" And he says, "No, you can have it for free. It doesn't have a power supply. It's just the boards." So, hell yeah, I took them both. $40. We came home. We're happy. I got them both fixed up and running. Now, they're only a terahash each. 1 terahash. So the S1 was 100 gigahash. 10 gigahash is 1 terahash. So I got those running. But by then, it was like too late. So I got them working and fixed. I did a video. But at that time, I bought an S5 miner. And the S5 did something like 2.4. I don't remember anymore. But this is how I built up from nothing, pretty much, like donation from a friend. And I kept building. And finally, I got some S9 miners, and I got 3 of them. And I had 45 terahashes running in the garage. I had to rewire everything. I ran wires for it. I'm an electrical engineer, so I know how to, some 6-gauge wire to a sub panel, and then all the circuits were 20 amp breakers at 120 volts. Now that I'm thinking about it, I should have just did 240, but that wasn't the point. Now at the time, it's just running power from what I knew, and I ran that during the big rush of 2017. When Bitcoin went up to 20,000. And I made double what I put in. If I put in $10,000, I got $20,000. Or a little bit more. And I ended up selling those miners for $200 to a friend, Ben. I said, "Hey, it's no longer profitable right now. Why don't you take those miners for $200? I had other reasons for getting rid of it, because of Alan. He was always coming in there and sticking sticks into my fans, making them seize up, and burned up one of them. So I was like, fuck this. I'm just gonna quit while I'm ahead. And you know what? Those friends, not just Ben, not just Kitch, but both of them came out ahead like $50,000, $100,000 over the next 3 years. Like they just ran it because it was heating their home because they don't have heat. Just to heat your home with it. What they did, why they made so much money, was because they took Bitcoin, then they put it into Dogecoin, Doggy Coin. I call it Doggy Coin. I'm the old school. Doggy Coin. It's Dogecoin, but yeah, they put it in Dogecoin, and then Saturday Night Live, and that autistic guy, Asperger's guy, like the guy who has SpaceX and stuff, he started talking about it, and it, the price went way up. They're talking to me like, yeah, we got 50,000, got 100,000 bucks. We're gonna keep going. I'm like, oh wow, good, you guys, wow. I feel like I missed out on something. But of course, they got to feel the fall. So what they made $50,000, they went back down to 20,000. It's like, okay, you guys did good. It was cool when you told me it was high. I was like, oh, I missed out. Ah, shit. I should have paid. I should have bought it too. No. I mean, that's what it felt like. But no, they did good. What's funny is neither of them talk to me anymore. Oh, I gave them a cheap gift. Education of digital currency. That's okay. We're all doing good now. So that's my story of how I did Bitcoin. And how I eat food. Now, let's do a wrap this up. Doggy. Let's end this video on a good note. Hope you enjoyed my slippers. Thanks for watching.